Hello, babies.
Hello, babies.
How?
Hello to those fucking babies.
Hello to
Hello
those babies.
to those little guys. Hello.
How do you think they're doing, the babies?
I think they're struggling with object permanence.
Mm.
I think they got some little fucking twofers coming in.
Uh-huh.
I think someone has probably pissed their pants.
Yeah,
I think
classic
that's what's
baby
going on in Baby Town.
experiences. Okay. Um, I think that there's probably some experiencing the world with wonder also.
Oh my God. I'm experiencing wonder because I'm really hot. And I was like, damn, I should drink a liquid about it. And
Uh-huh.
so do you hear my little thinking
I
in?
do.
Okay. So I have a big mason jar
Mm-hmm.
full of ice cubes and
Mm-hmm.
some Thai basil and some mint
Whoa.
and tonic water and lots of
Ugh.
ice. And Emma just picked a lemon from the tree for me. And I'm going to put some lemon slices in there. Oh my God.
Okay,
We're going
that
to make
sounds
it.
terrible, but I'm happy for you.
Do you not like tonic water?
No, it's bitter.
Eh,
It's the worst
Okay.
kind of bitter. It has that that whatchamacallit.
Delicious
No.
quinine.
Yes. Yeah. Quinine is like that is on the I don't know,
What?
scale of bitter flavors that bother me. That is the worst one.
Oh my God, everyone in the chat hates. Okay, except Francis. I should have known. Yeah,
Yeah,
Frankie, if
Francis
no one
loves
else
it.
has my fucking back. Thank you. Oh my God, my fresh lemon slices have been delivered by my in-house assistant. Thank you.
Mm.
Um, I fucking love a tonic water, and especially with the herbs in there, like, goddamn.
Well,
It makes sense that
yeah.
this is a group of people who would not be into tonic water. I
Yeah.
should have realized my target audience here.
Juliet says it's great alongside, but ugh on its own.
It's not on its own. There's herbs and lemon in there.
Yeah, alongside what, Juliet? Gin?
Lily says, I mean, to be fair, I'm not really into anything.
um, that's uh, yeah.
Well,
You're into
all I'll
hamburgers,
say,
Lily.
yeah, is I'll be laughing with my quinine when all of you get malaria. Tim
Uh-huh.
says, more like ick water.
Yeah,
Juliet says, yes, Jen, but you can get by with very cold water and lime.
it mixed with the tonic water is what you're saying?
Presumably.
Okay.
Ruby says, can't remember if I've ever had tonic water. Neutral folk. God damn, y'all are such little like potion agnostics. I love a little drinking potion. This is classic potion shit. Oh, no, Frankie, you lost me there. Francis says, BRB gonna go sip some room temperature tonic water with nothing else.
Wait. Tim says tonic water doesn't do that, Wes.
Tim is mixing up your voice and mine.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yes,
Leo
I
is
know that.
making claims about malaria, not me.
I was making a joke about malaria and not a doctor's claim about the efficacy of quinine as an anti-malarial agent. That's
Yep.
a joke because they used to think it did that.
Yeah.
Have you
Um,
taken anti-malarial medication? Have you gone in a place in your life that has
No,
required you to
I
take
have
anti-malarial
never
medication?
gone to a place that has required me to take anti-malarial medication.
Okay.
Oh, Tim says, sorry, PTSD from my dad thinking it would prevent COVID.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
totally
that's fair. That's
understandable.
fair.
um, Emily said, I love a potion, but it has to be 50% sugar. Lily said, my favorite potion is water, also maybe lemonade. My favorite potion is a cocktail that does not contain tonic water.
Tonic water made for cocktails.
Not the
A
kind I
cocktail
like.
is certainly a form of potion, but I also like a
Yeah.
little, like, refreshing potion. You know what? It's fucking summer. I should get into, like, shrubs.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
I like a refreshing potion also, but like to me that's like salty lemonade or just what we call salty drink, which is a thing that they drink in, I don't remember. I think Mexico, but I don't recall. But it's just like lime juice and salt and sparkling water.
Yeah, hell yeah, that sounds great.
Um
Ruby says, "Love a lemonade. Had an incredible strawberry basil lemonade once. Love a basil in a lemonade.
yeah.
Love a mint. Love a like a rosemary can be good in there. Love a lavender.
Uh-huh.
Oh man, we used to get banging lavender lemonade at the farmers market in Nebraska.
Damn. Um
You know,
yeah.
yes.
Well,
I
I wanted to tell you about a recent near debacle that I forgot to tell
uh-oh.
you about before the stream.
Okay.
Um, is that okay?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So, you know my beautiful antique ring for the wedding?
Yes. Mhm.
Um, I took our rings to a jeweler to get them cleaned well. Um,
Mhm.
and I had like looked at my ring, a couple days before. I have not been like wearing it because we've sort of been saving them for the wedding and post-wedding wear. Um,
Wesley believes in saving yourself for marriage. Got it.
uh, you heard it here, folks. Um, uh, and it was fine at that point. And I handed it to the jeweler, and she's looking at it, and she said, uh, "This garnet is cracked." And sure
Uh-oh.
enough, it was cracked. It was not just cracked; it was missing a chunk.
Oh.
And then the remaining garnet had a crack through part of it. And so then we're like talking about replacing the garnet and whether that's possible, and she's like, these are not a regular size or cut. um so it is highly unlikely that I will be able to find something that works, but I can try. And I'm like trying to process this all and like, freaking out, but trying not to freak out too much in front of this person. Um as we're talking. So I was like, well, like try, see what you can do. I'm going to leave it with you, and I will in the meantime look for alternatives. So I spent too many hours that evening and night looking at other possible rings. Cuz like that ring is foundational to the whole wedding's color scheme.
Right.
and um and like there are other rings that have aquamarine and other rings that have garnet, not usually together, but I did see a couple maybe. But they're not like the same color of either of those stones. um
Yeah.
Anyways, the following day. Wait, say something again.
Me?
Yeah, you're very loud suddenly.
Um, Nothing has changed.
Hmm.
My mic has not
Oh,
changed. My gain has not changed. Me in
okay.
relation
Yeah.
to my microphone has
I
not
think
changed.
I must have touched my earbuds to adjust them and it changed the volume.
Ah,
Okay. Um but the next day I was like reading things on the internet about possible options and then I saw a reference to like a lapidary, I don't know, cutting stones to fit something. And I was like, wait a second, that woman who owns the rock shop that we went
oh,
to
that we went
last
to. Yeah.
August has a lapidary and cuts stones herself. So I drove out there um, on a whim because I was like, I'm not gonna do well at explaining this over the phone. I need to just go and talk to her. um, and I didn't even have the ring with me because it was still with the other jeweler, but I had high quality pictures of it. So I like showed her, and she was immediately one, she was like, that's a beautiful ring, which there have been three other jewelers who have like looked at that ring at different times, and all of them have immediately pointed out problems and not ever said anything nice about it,
Oh, yeah.
which just it just makes me feel a little bit insane because it's like very important to me, and then I feel like I have to like justify why it is important to me when like they don't see the inherent beauty in it, you know? um
Yeah.
I did not feel that way with her. Um, and she was almost immediately like, yes, like we can do it. We can make it happen. She at one point she was like, "Are you freaking out?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Stop freaking out. It's it's gonna be okay. We're gonna fix
Oh,
it."
good.
Um,
I can
so
also picture her because that lady had such a specific vibe.
yes, yeah. Um, yeah, she was great. I heard her interacting with a few other customers. While I was there, and she was doing her that'll be $1 million bit with like
I
every
remember.
every
Yeah.
single person.
Great.
um uh yeah. But yeah, she was great. So then I went back and got my ring and then had a sort of awkward interaction with that jeweler because I like explained that I had found someone who could, cut stones to fit, and she was like, "Well, I have a cutter." And I'm like, "Okay, then why are you acting like you can't do it?" I didn't say that, but I kind of wish I had. Um, I don't know. It was just weird. It she
Yeah.
seemed like to not she seemed weird about me choosing to go elsewhere despite her not being at all promising about being able to fix
Actually
it.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, but yeah, because Rock Shop Lady also works with a like metalsmith who does like more the like very intricate gold work, and so she will enlist him, um, and they will get it figured out. Um, yeah.
Well, good. I'm
So
glad that
that
this is a
was
happy proceeding story.
yeah. It was a very stressful 24 hours. Um,
Yeah.
but uh but it was literally like eh, almost exactly 24 hours from the time I like got the news about the garnet initially to the time that I had the conversation with the rock shop lady. um so yeah, it was good.
Good. I am glad to hear it. Yeah, she was charming. I'm glad that she came through for you.
Yes. Um, yeah. Oh, wow. Francis has assembled a potion of blueberry syrup, which they made themselves, lime juice, pineapple sage, and strawberry peach sparkling water.
Sounds great. I'll take some blueberry syrup. That would go well with my lemon mint basil combo here.
Yeah. Actually, can I have a little of that potion, Frankie? Do you have some to spare? Okay. Shall we play some
Yes,
Roottreemania?
I do want to go back to the chat. Um, Juliet and Tim were talking about the Rice Krispie treat sawdust
Ah.
experiment.
Mm-hmm.
And Tim was like, "Oh, I play that with mashed peas and curry." And Juliet responded, "I used to get this for almost all vegetables trying to feed my parents. I had to keep rotating which veg to trick them," which feels backwards of how that one normally goes, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Oh my god, my potion is approaching. Fuck
Posh.
yeah.
A poshing. That doesn't quite work.
Mmm. Nice. It's good.
Hell yeah.
I approve.
Um, my potion has Thai basil, which we normally don't get, but I bought Thai basil specifically because we had spring rolls last night, and I always forget how different Thai basil is. It's very lemony.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Good.
Okay. Do you remember what was last time on Roottreemania?
Um
There was the bros, where wherein sometimes plagiarism leads to a beautiful lifelong friendship.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The bros. Yeah, we pursued the waiter at Antonelli's thing. Last time the our main focus was Guy Hudson. We went through the files on like who was employed when.
Yeah.
And yeah. And I think for the time being felt like we had kind of exhausted that
Yeah, we still
avenue.
have we still have some missing affairs, but
Yeah.
oh, I don't think who's our friend on the chair? I don't think I've noticed them before.
This friend, we
Yeah, with
can't
the heart.
interact with him.
Life is
Sorry.
cruel.
Yeah.
Juliet says, "Leo, to answer your question, that's backwards from the normal way that works. Life and parents and vegetables can be funny that way sometimes." So true.
Yeah.
Can we look at our
do
Yeah.
great.
Oh yeah, we were looking at that Boston Review site.
Yes. I did not apparently make notes on what we should do next.
Oh no. Maybe we can look at before we move along, I would love to take a look at our board and reorient ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh no, Emma says Leo, Smako, and that little black outdoor cat are staring at each other again. What if they're soulmates?
Oh my god.
Go grab
Yeah,
her.
so we filled in these two, and
Yeah.
I believe... Hey, why is only
I think
one of these...
Because we did one first, and that was 4.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay. So we do not have a picture of their mom yet. We also should be able to access 3 additional pictures of Guy Hudson. So it's possible there's one of him and Christine together somewhere.
Yeah, because we need a picture of Susan Ford as well.
Yeah. This one is totally unknown. That one is totally unknown. And then we have Susan Ford, who, like, we've locked in her kids and spouse. We just need her picture. Oh yeah, we added the newest baby root tree.
Juliet says about Smako the outdoor cat, Star Clan crossed lovers. That's a pretty good one.
And then
because of that joke, I want you guys to know that the kids are still very much reading Warrior Cats. In fact, they're being adapted into graphic novels right now. And let me tell you, the Warrior Cats kids are alive and well.
I believe it.
Oh yeah, his daughter's...
Yeah. Yeah. Spouse. Children. Child spouse. Grandchild.
Francis says, aren't they making a movie? Did I dream that? I don't know.
I don't know.
Someone was in the store like 2 weeks ago and was like, I remember reading a book about an animal. And I was like, was it Warrior Cats? And they were like, no, but it was like that, but it was scary. And I was like, do you remember the animal? And they were like, I think it was an owl, and they made a movie of it. And I was like, the Guardians of Ga'Hoole, because I was not a Warrior Cats kid. I was a Guardians of Ga'Hoole kid.
Damn,
so that
was
thrilling
neither.
for me personally. Oh, Ruby says, yeah, I shelf process Warrior books all the time.
Okay, and then we have OG, Elias, and probably Beth Knox, we think. But none of the, following things.
Juliet says, wow, Leo's a big Ga'Hoole again. Many people have said this, Juliet.
So, where do you think we should start? Have we looked up Beth Knox and all of the things?
Well, and they had an expensive... Beth Knox is the one that they had she got a very expensive retirement bonus, or like 50 years bonus, right?
Possibly.
Oh, Emma says, I was a Rats of Nim kid all by my lonesome. No, I was also a Rats of Nim kid.
I was vaguely a Rats of Nim kid, but not, I don't know.
I was a Rats of Nim kid in that I saw the Don Bluth movie, which was totemic in its power on me. One, because of I found it like deeply frightening in the way that you cannot stop like thinking about and revisiting.
Mm-hmm.
And then read the books the book from there. Emily says, hell yeah, Guardians of Ga'Hoole just had one of those on our dollar cart this very week. Ruby says, Leo does have a kind of owlish vibe, actually. Yeah, I could see that. It's the glasses. Juliet says, I think I was mostly a Watership Down kid. Still haven't seen the movie of that one. Maybe don't. It really is also a truly terrifying experience. It's quite good though. I read Watership Down to Emma when we were long distance dating.
Yeah.
Man, Watership Down, good. I should read more of the Richard Adams books. I read, or I haven't read, I've seen that other story of his that they adapted. It's not Don Bluth, but it's a British animation house that is gone that adapted War Dogs, maybe? Is that what that's called? But the dogs who get animal tested. There's also, of course, Shardik the bear, which Stephen King stole for the Dark Tower, but I haven't read that either. Juliet says, Leo, that's so fun. And Ruby says, seductive Leo. Juliet says, all-time activities to do. It sure was, and I realized as we were moving apace that I had really set myself up for a situation as an unable to pronounce and say words correctly person with all of the wild rabbit language names and that, which are tricky. Like there's the love interest rabbit whose name has like multiple HR combinations. Just tough. Good names, but tough.
Yeah. Leo.
Yes.
Would you like to try to make some progress on this game?
Wow. Okay. I thought we were a book podcast. That's fine. Welcome to Shadowfax. Yeah.
A podcast about whatever we feel like.
Wesley, it has always been that all along.
I know. Okay. Yes, Beth Knox did get a $50,000 50-year work anniversary bonus. I feel like I remember someone else. Yeah, Fred Gleason got a 50-year work anniversary bonus. So, I don't know if...
Is there a line about her leaving the company, or like, is that 50 years also her retirement, or does she stay on at the company after that?
Let's see.
Beth Knox are no longer employed. Okay.
Yeah.
Ruby says, several years ago, I read Gaudy Night aloud to my sister and had to deal with the fact that it has a truly enormous cast of minor characters, all of whom are women, and I couldn't remember who most of them were as we went, so I couldn't remember what voice I was trying to do for whom. Oh, wait.
Yes, I have read
Ruby.
Gaudy Night out loud to Francis, and yeah.
Thank you for reminding me. I met a fat fan in the wild, and one of the meandering paths before we got to Friends at the Table was talking about Dorothy Sayers. And they recommended a Dorothy Sayers podcast to me that I wanted to pass along to you.
Damn. You met this person like since I was there?
Yeah. Trans guy who works in publishing. Damn. Who loves the Magnus Archives and Dorothy Sayers and Friends at the Table.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It was very funny because he was in the store with his friend who he's been trying to get to listen to Friends at the Table, and like her watching our growing glee and mania as we realized that the other was a fat fan. She was like, God, he's been trying to get me to listen to this for like years. And he was like, there's dozens of us. Ruby says, ooh, are you going to tell me the name of the podcast? Yes, let me grab it from my screen caps really fast. It's called As My Whimsy Takes Me.
Ah. Which that is Peter's family's like
house
motto
crest.
On their crest, yeah. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. This is actually, yeah, because I guess Joe, who is also a fat fan, so I have met 2 different fat fans in the wild in the last month.
Yeah, technically Joe has not listened to it, right? But they
I thought they had listened to like some of the, but not like a complete season. Maybe I'm misremembering.
Oh, I don't know. I know they listened to the Star Wars podcast.
Oh yeah. Okay, possible.
They were familiar with Friends at the Table.
1.25.
But yeah,
fat fans. That's you need Metropolis numbers in order to get to 1.25.
The Dorothy Sayers person, Ruby says, was this guy cute by any chance? Was he single?
He was cute. I'm not sure about single. He's just visiting. He lives in New York. I can give you his Insta if you want, but I had an absolute fucking hoot and a half talking to him.
Great. Okay. Please focus.
You make media with someone for years and you think you know them and your priorities, and here we are. What lead would you like to follow, Wesley?
I don't know. That's part of why I need your participation in this. I cannot solve this mystery alone.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like, I mean, there's like all this Elias and Beth stuff is blank. I don't know where our inn is gonna be. Like,
well, and that feels like because
the Six Pieces book still has
5,
an intuition score of 5, as does the previously on reminders. Yeah. Wait. Um. This says other notable root trees such as Lauren root tree, Miracle root tree, and Jim root tree had physical media such as record albums, books, and movies associated with them. What did Miracle root tree have?
That's a great question. There was like church material from his various like preaching tours,
Yeah,
but
but
that does,
it was like there was just like an advertisement for the tour essentially.
yeah. I
Um,
wonder if he,
which is technically physical media, but I don't know if there's something else.
in Teen Blast.
In Teen Blast, look, I just have to go through methodically.
Yeah. Do you think there was like a doc? Yeah. Okay. We know that.
Yes.
Do you think there was like a documentary or a biography or an autobio? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, we never
Miracle.
figured out what was up with the legal
Oh,
troubles. Right?
yeah. Yeah, we never figured out what was up with the legal troubles. You are correct about that.
Francis says, I will, sorry. Emma says, I will say, if you want just a little nudge, the duck system is P good. The duck system?
Oh.
The
Hints.
duck system, which we've never used. Whoa. Yeah, let's do it.
You haven't searched for everything on your list of notable events. That's a good place to start. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna. I just.
I know we looked this.
Yeah, I just want to review this.
Yes. I am going to refresh my ice very fast in my little potion while you read this. I will be right back.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Okay,
What do we...
I found something new.
Oh.
According to a website called Clergy Watch, he, as in Miracle Jr., was exposed and subsequently charged with conspiracy to defraud the public in 1979 when he claimed to heal someone in a wheelchair. A news expose revealed it was his wife Edith's sister in a disguise. The author also mentions that Edith had a bit of a checkered past herself, but doesn't clarify. He has
Edith
since
is the one who
lost his
broke into the
television show
church, right?
and instead goes on tour across the southern United States where he was not well known before the scandal. Yeah, I think you're right. I had forgotten about that. All right, because Miracle Jr. is up here.
Because there was like a newspaper article about there being... Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think that we...
Emma says, that's how you were supposed to find her in the first game. I don't remember how you ended up doing it instead. I think we were... Because at that point, we were down to the wives, and we were searching the wives in
we did
all of
some...
the publications.
Yeah. I have no idea if Clergy Watch has anything else. No. Damn. I wanted other gossip about clergy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the article that we previously read. Okay. Right. Notable events. Start here. I guess we haven't searched Clark Rafferty LaRue. Maybe. Because we felt like we already knew what his deal was.
Yeah.
Okay, Clark Rafferty LaRue is the new president of the Roottreemania Corporation. This does not include Root, which appears to have its own new leadership. So we might want to look at that also. In early March of 1999, actually, gonna do that.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
In early March of 1999, about 5 months ago, it was announced that both Clark Rafferty LaRue and Ron Roottree would be taking over for what was essentially described as a transitional period in the aftermath of Six Pieces. About 2 weeks later, the company released a press statement that thanked Ron for his work, but announced that Clark was the new permanent president. Most of the information about Clark you knew already. Many descriptions of him tend to focus on his advertising career and that his mother was Lauren Roottree. Few seem to touch on his complex and volatile marital history. Since taking over, Clark has tried to remain out of the spotlight, but did have one notable foray into the public eye. He gained a lot of support when his first move was a statement in favor of accepting Sam and her family into the trust. This also served as an announcement that the Clancid Trust would no longer be handled by anyone in the family, since due to their financial motivation, none of them could ever be impartial. Well, that
Let's see
doesn't...
what Ron Rootree is up to these days, since getting booted from
Shafted.
leadership.
Oh, okay. A rehash of stuff we already know. There are hundreds of results about this development, Ron being dropped, but most articles are retellings of basic details. Some veer into heavy speculation based on an article about Ron in Business Watch.
Yeah.
Ron has also done some interviews saying that the truth of what went on behind the scenes is not something he wishes to discuss. Instead, he hopes to release a movie about it someday. 3 weeks ago, Ron's mother, Gwen, died in Paris, France. He and his brother Robbie have seemingly made amends. Okay. Business Watch.
Yeah, and then I want to look up Gwen and Robbie again just to see if there's new, because time has passed.
Yeah. Business Watch ran an article about 2 months after the Roottreemania rift about what really happened with Roottreemania. The article mentions that nobody from Roottreemania that they reached out to was willing to go on the record. Instead, the timeline of events has been constructed from public record, accidental leaks, and a source on the inside. The only parts that are new to you are also the most vague parts, the ones supposedly confirmed by their anonymous source. The timeline says that the family actually held a preliminary vote after Carl Roottreemania died, but before the release of 6 Pieces, and decided they wanted Ron Roottreemania to take over because of his experience running RR Productions and because he was a well-known and well-respected Roottreemania. But Ron seemed way too eager and personally motivated. They were worried he would gut the Clancid Trust to remove Robbie Roottreemania. The family was notoriously unwilling to do anything that could risk their wealth. They stalled, and Ron became frustrated with the delay. When 6 Pieces came out, he saw his chance to force action while the family was in the limelight, and released the press release himself in an attempt to get the ball rolling faster. This caused chaos within the family. They tried to save face by allowing Ron to take over as co-president with Clark, but according to Business Watch's source, Ron was impossible to deal with. He seemed like he was unwilling to protect the Clancid Trust, is the quotation, and they eventually let him go. After that, the role passed solely to Clark, who nobody was excited about but seemed like the safest choice. Okay.
But now he and Robbie have reconciled?
Yes.
Interesting.
RR Productions seems to have no
Guys Like Us
projects listed
remake?
in development other than Guys Like Us remake. Guys Like Us is a 1953 comedy film, oh, we've read this, in which 2 secretaries cut their hair short and pose as businessmen to get ahead in life until one of them falls in love with their client and hilarity ensues. Starring Gwen Roottreemania, Leslie Florence, and Harrison Lane. It was fairly popular at the box office and made its budget back, but was seen as somewhat formulaic, so it didn't really stand the test of time compared to other classic films of the era. It was recently released for the first time on home video due to Roottreemania. The time it took to manufacture and ship VHS copies of Guys Like Us meant that it missed the height of the craze, which only lasted a few weeks. Even so, it did sell modestly well, and there have been talks of a remake. Um. Okay, sorry, I was catching up on some of the chat. Um, Ruby, I have not seen that miniseries, but maybe I should. Also, this is this the Frankenstein Goes to Work track?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't know what track it was until now.
Yeah, so that's when that one starts playing. People in the chat say, "There he
There he
goes."
goes. Yeah. Oh, Robbie Roottree was released from French prison after serving
Fresh
a few
prison.
years for assault. His embezzlement and arrest were partially featured in Six Pieces, as Robbie's participation in the Clans of Trust was a key piece of evidence in Sam's favor, and have since become much more publicly infamous. He has not yet returned to the United States, but when journalists reached out to him recently after the death of his mother, he had issued a blanket statement a few days ago. The death of my mother was hard on our family. My brother and I, after spending time together caring for her in mourning, have finally made amends. It was a highly transformative few weeks when it came to our relationship. I'm in recovery from my addiction, and a major aspect of that process is that I wish to stay private.
Oh, Emma, I see. Emma says, to be clear, that is the KB and Jack name, not the actual track
no,
name.
I know. Like, Francis has told me about the KB and Jack thing. I just hadn't ever seen / heard it in context, so I didn't know which track it was.
Question, did we look up and read Six Pieces from the library?
I don't know. We have it in our evidence. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we
did,
have done that.
because
Okay.
it's
yes.
Because that's what this
Yeah,
is.
okay. Right. Okay, yes. Yeah, because we were laughing about Miracle's big ass 5 head in the forefront.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh, can we do Gwen Rootree just for fun too, while we're like catching up on
Oh yeah.
people?
Whoops. Not much is known about her death except that it was announced that she died peacefully in her sleep while being treated for a sudden severe case of pneumonia. Before that, she had apparently been in relatively good health, according to her friends and family in Paris. She was 67. What if her sons murdered her?
You think?
Not really. The problem with watching a lot of murder mysteries on television is that you start seeing murder everywhere.
Yeah, you're the murder hammer right now.
Yeah, I actually haven't been watching mysteries a ton lately, but I have watched enough of them in the last few years that it's still still in there a little bit. It is interesting. I find that like media exists in one of two categories. Uh, a world where people murder each other, or a world where they don't.
Yeah.
Um, you know?
Yeah. Instead
Uh,
of like the um the mushy middle that we live in, which is like, of course people murder each other, but surely not me.
yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Oh. Huh.
What?
It just the little interest the last graph.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. Like, actually, yeah, okay. Um, okay. This could be a red herring, or this could be relevant in some way.
I feel like they wouldn't explain this much of the genetics.
Yeah, but it also says in this it's also a much more widespread search. The list of first and last names you can choose from will contain red herrings. Not all of them will be used. I don't know, which I know it's specifically talking about names. It just seems like things in general
Well,
are trickier. We're going to encounter information that is not relevant. But I do
certainly, but also the times that we've encountered things that are like truly blind alleys, the game has
it
said
says
in the
so.
search results, this
Yeah.
is not relevant.
Yeah, that is true.
So I
Yes.
think that we should keep an eye out for people who
Yes.
have died. Younger than you might expect.
Yeah. Yeah, because I feel like, yeah, the genetic stuff here could tell us something about something at some point.
Frankie says results, and Emily says, were the search results there?
Okay. Oh, I wanted to look at.
Oh yeah, because it has a new leadership.
Oh, wow. The Root website has a small memorial section to the deceased members of the family, but it contains no new information. The most recent catalog, Spring 1999, had an entirely black cover with no text on it. On the leadership page, you learn that Root is currently managed by a designer who was apparently Brenda White's second in command. You don't recognize her name, and she seems unrelated to your search. There's also a scholarship page. On it, you find information about the Roottreemania Sisters Fashion Scholarship. It is awarded to 3 underprivileged high school girls each year who wish to pursue a career in fashion. Apparently, it also gives them an opportunity to show off their designs on professional models on a real runway. According to the site, the fund was created directly from shares that would have contributed to the inheritance of the Roottreemania Sisters if they were still alive. Like other aspects of the Clancid Trust, it's managed by Ruby Legal Enterprises.
Ruby, you didn't tell us.
Oops. Ugh. Okay.
Wow. Do you know that I got to see Ruby of Ruby Legal Enterprises in the flesh?
I do know. Oh my god, pretty soon
How lucky.
Juliet and Ryan are going to be able to meet Ruby and vice versa.
Wow.
Okay. Ruby Legal
Sprat.
Enterprises is the name of the law firm that has been hired by the Root Tree Candy Company. The company is named after its head lawyer, Ruby Sprat. They were recently in the news due to a high-profile lawsuit they raised against Cicely Sanchez.
Great name.
Is it? I don't like that spelling.
Well, it's alliterative now. Instead of just
Alliterative, but only the sounds.
There's a word for that. Assonant?
Assonance is, I think, about vowel sounds.
I bet Emma knows. Emma?
Ruby might also know.
Can you look up Cicely Sanchez in the meantime?
Juliet might know. Yes.
Juliet says consonants. Oh yeah, consonants. Assonance is vowel sounds, consonants is consonants. That makes sense.
Oh. Cicely Sanchez is an author best known for Portrait of a Changed Man, released in 1979. Her follow-up, Foreign Gospel, 1984, did not perform as well critically, but still sold quite respectably. She has written a few more books since then, including a biography of Van Gogh, but her first two are her claim to fame. According to a site about authors, Cicely is known for her nonfiction, with a focus on exploring darkness in the human psyche. Recently... Are you making a sound because you saw Guy Hudson?
Yes, and the sentence, another line below it, but you're getting there. Read it for our audience.
Oh, inclusion of pictures?
Yes.
Okay, recently Cicely appeared in a magazine called Picotee, which is also, that's a new periodical. Oh boy,
periodical
oh boy.
Acquired.
With an article about a book she had been commissioned to write for Guy Hudson. The magazine and Cicely herself were immediately issued a cease and desist due to its inclusion of pictures that she never had the rights to publish. The issue was pulled from store shelves, making it an instant collector's item.
Okay, lots to look up here.
Yeah.
What if we do... not the inverted pyramid, but the regular pyramid, and start with her books, and then move on to Picotee and Guy Hudson?
Okay.
We're starting with the least relevant first.
The book's description has this to say. What if everything you stand for, everything you know to be true today, could disappear in an instant? All of your politics, relationships, gone in the blink of an eye, would you still be you? Cicely Sanchez tells this powerful true story about a man who woke up after being saved from drowning in his backyard pool and became an entirely different person. Included are interviews from those that knew him best before, as well as a one-on-one chat that paints an entirely different picture. You won't be able to put it down without wondering, what if that were me?
Oh.
What if I could forget everything about my prior life?
Foreign Gospel is the other one.
Thank you. Foreign Gospel tells the tale of a man from the Catholic Church who claims he was told by God that he should travel to Thailand and begin to preach, specifically with the goal to convert 10,000 people. He returned to the United States after just over 2 years, claiming to have succeeded. This book tells his version of the story, but the author, Cicely Sanchez, also traveled to Thailand to investigate these claims and talk with some of the so-called converted.
Okay, fun.
Neither of those were added to our thing, though. There's nothing.
No.
More.
That's why we. Yeah. Start with the
well, I'm still
least relevant.
disappointed.
Eco tea.
In an issue that focused on a talking toy fish and the demonic messages it supposedly said as the batteries ran low, Bicotti had an article about a cancelled book by Cicely Sanchez. The book's subject was Guy Hudson, and the issue was said to contain pictures that Cicely did not have the rights to publish. Because of the pictures, this issue was pulled from store shelves, making it the subject of some conspiracies and an instant collector's item. Due to this recall, the version found in these archives is incomplete.
You know, I'm surprised who didn't have anything to say about this is our friend Tom Greenwood or whatever.
What?
The conspiracy guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. A picote is a category of flower with an outline around the edges of its petals.
Like begonias and stuff. And carnations. That's fun.
Yeah, carnations. Do begonias have an outline around the edges of their petals?
I'm looking.
I'm thinking about picot has a meaning in like crochet and sometimes knitting. Like when you're doing like making the edge of something, you can make little bits that stick out.
Oh. The examples I'm seeing on the Picotea Wikipedia page include Hippeastrum, Lilium, Chinese hibiscus, Castelleja, rhododendron, and Gaillardia.
Okay.
Oh, which is the Twilight Mirage flower that we have is Gaillardia, I think. It must be because it was named after Maitre Gaillard de Charentonneau.
Wow.
That was good French, right?
Uh-huh. Look at this.
Basil bub.
Could this popular gift be filling homes with satanic messages?
Okay, hell yeah.
This says the magazine was pulled from shelves and the version you found in your periodical search had the relevant pages removed, rendering this magazine useless unless you want to read about a potentially demonic fish toy, but also it has an intuition score of 8.
Yeah, because presumably we will find those pictures We just have to find a non recalled magazine,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, I guess so. But I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why this has the intuition score then and not the the version that actually has the pictures. Like,
Mm,
yeah, I
yeah.
don't know.
What do we? Yeah, I was gonna say, what should we, now that we have a new publication, are there things that we should? Ooh, time? Yeah.
It especially caught the eye of conspiracy theorists who assumed that anything worth suing over would have to be hiding something. An expert legal analyst from Newstime states that it was unlikely that Ruby could have had the story pulled if it had gone to court, and Picotti likely got more eyes on it than it would have if the Roottrees just ignored the story. So yeah, it does reference conspiracy theorists, but I thought that we looked at
Yeah.
his site. Oh, right, the guy's not dead theory. Oh, and Gwyn Roottree's death was faked, allegedly. It's just the same stuff.
Maybe Guy Hudson conspiracy? Yeah. Ah, okay. There we go. Of course. Good job, Wes.
Oh, okay, thank you. The story, according to the website, is that Guy Hudson was a terrible president of the Roottree Company and introduced multiple failed products. Something needed to be done that would put the company immediately and instantly back in the favor of consumers, so they killed off Guy Hudson and replaced him with a new president. This move immediately garnered sympathy, and the company recovered the next year, more popular than ever. The next president stayed much further out of the limelight, and some people even theorized that he was simply Guy Hudson in an elaborate disguise, which is why he stopped appearing in public. The people who run the site are asking for help. They're certain that there's a clue to all of this that accidentally leaked in a banned article from the magazine Picotti. On their page is a scan of the magazine's cover, the interview with Cicely Sanchez about Guy Hudson, and some photos. You add them to your evidence. Photos. No! Sorry, I meant to zoom in. That's why I clicked it, because I thought it was going to zoom in.
And there's this woman in the background, too.
Yes.
What's going on with Guy's arm here?
Which one? The one that disappears?
No, the other one that looks
one?
weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel something about the proportions
Yeah, I think what happens in the wrist zone is disturbing.
Yeah.
And also, it looks a little small overall
Yes.
for his head, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It's the Christmas
No
party.
label on this photo other than pointing out that there's a Christmas tree. Um
Oh, that's Zach, isn't it? Oh, and there's
yeah.
Elias in the background.
Yes, but it won't let me take that one.
Uh,
But we've seen that
Had that.
cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's this woman. Whoever she is.
Do you see the fancy office chair with the embossed maple leaf?
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Nat says, look, shoulders are fucked to draw. And Emily says, small arm theory.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And now the um uh interview has been added. Do you want to how about I read the questions?
Yep.
And you read the answers.
Yes.
He was the president, right? Do you know why he never released it himself?
If I had to guess, his family very wisely put a stop to it. Mid 1981, months after I had already moved on, he called me back and showed me a final draft. Do you know how expensive it is to publish one copy of a book? It had my name on it in big, shiny, embossed letters. Like all problems in his life, throwing money at me was his attempt to win me back. But it had half the page count and the narrative was torn to bits. No thanks. The dinner was good. Imported steak that likely cost as much as a month of my mortgage, and we all got pretty drunk. He sent his mistress, Susie something, into the bathroom to proposition me. Poor girl.
Damn.
Sorry, what?
Just damn is what I said.
Oh, yeah. Poor girl. I remembered her from our trip overseas. She was too good for him. Anyway, he died soon after, and that was the last it ever came up.
What can you tell us about the family? Any insight into the scandals from the recent book by Sam Madsen?
I actually haven't read it. I just skimmed the sections on Guy to see why people were suddenly calling me up to ask about the man. I'd say she did well for what she had to work with. She only had rumors, whereas I spent time tailing him. Sometimes he knew, sometimes he didn't. He invited me to join them when dealing with Roottreemania Brazil, but I actually had people on him when he went to Australia, France, and China too. When he met with someone, I'd figure out who they were and how they were involved. Doubly so if the meeting happened when he didn't want me to be around. Despite his best efforts, I got the whole truth, including things even his family never
Sorry.
knew. For example, the daughter of his business partner in Australia, I think her name was Robin, he and she definitely spent a few nights together that he didn't want his family to know about. But I did.
Madsen got things wrong?
Sam mentions Guy's affairs and treats them like most people would logically think to treat them, like the infidelity was a problem for Patricia. When his first wife approached me, though, it wasn't to talk, if you get my meaning. On paper and in public, it was a marriage like any other, but in reality, it was more of a mutually beneficial arrangement. They both got what they wanted out of it. The same thing.
What was that?
I'm assuming I only have to spell it out so you can get it in writing for your readers. Women. Patricia enjoyed the company of women, and the swinger scene made that more accessible. I told her I wasn't interested in her and Guy. I found out later that if I had said yes, her next question would have been whether or not her husband actually had to be there too. Guy, on the other hand, was seen in a traditional marriage, and at that same time could bed any woman that found him charming. I can assure you that was exactly the type of marriage he was interested in.
Okay. So there
Emma
are.
says, I think this is the second page.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Um, there are some names and things. Okay. Okay. You claim to have been paid a significant amount to write a book about one of the root trees, Guy Hudson. He was president for a short period at the end of the 1970s, right?
Yeah. I met him on New Year's Eve, actually, the last night of 1978. Guy liked to throw big parties. I was just coming off of Changed Man and looking for my next project. When his wife learned who I was, she invited me to the party and they cornered me to talk about a book. That was the first time anyone recognized me for my work. I had finally made it. The book they asked me to write sounded great, but then none of the stuff that made him interesting was allowed to stay. Chop, chop, snip, snip. Anything with even the slightest threat to Guy's image ended up gonzo.
What was the stuff that made him interesting?
At his core, Guy was not complicated. In fact, I think I could boil him down to two traits. First, he wanted to be seen as the second coming of the great Elias Rootree. And second, he'd never be satisfied living the life needed to be seen that way. He had his fortune and his good looks, and he really liked to exploit that to pick up women. But he couldn't let anyone else know, so it cost him a lot to cover it up. That was the only interesting aspect of Guy. He was James Bond trying to convince people that he was Mr. Rogers, I guess.
Mr. Rogers? Really?
Maybe that's not the best metaphor, but Elias Rootree was boring as all hell and all about family. Guy did everything he could to be seen that way. After I submitted my first draft, he sent me this garbage book, The Rootree Legacy, with Elias on the cover. The last time he and I met, he had even switched out his orange suits for the same green ones Elias wore. And remember fancy flavors? Guy knew that part of Elias's legacy was the 5-piece flavors. So that's what Guy tried to do too. Caviar was a disaster here, but it was actually somewhat popular in Brazil for whatever reason. In Christmas 1979, he went to Brazil to open the Rootree Brazil factory. Guy was always hopping around the world, trying to recreate that success.
So how come the book never came out?
It's complicated. I had an out in my contract. Surprisingly, Guy signed the contract my lawyers wrote without running it by anybody in his legal department. I could pull my name off the book at any time, but Guy still got the content. After I left, it probably got a lot harder to convince any real publisher to give it their time.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, so we got to look into Rootree Brazil.
Yeah. Um. Okay. Anything else I should be
I
adding to our
don't
notes here?
think so.
Okay. Is this that book that there were references to in the first game that was
Yeah,
essentially propaganda?
yeah. Yeah, and it's like the Rootree Legacy Yeah, it got bad reviews.
Yeah, by Bess Williams. Family Man, The Roottreemania Legacy. Oh, it was recently republished. It did
We could
not
see
work.
because it was out of print. We could see Bess Williams. Yeah, there we go.
The dictionary defines propaganda as information, especially of a biased or misleading nature, used to promote or publicize a particular political cause or point of view. But if they were to replace that definition with a picture, it would be a picture of this book. The book tells you nothing new about Elias, and from what you know of his true feelings towards some of his extended family, you're not sure it tells you anything true about Elias either. The reissue of this book was so lazy that they reused the famous photo of Elias from Business Watch, whose copyright had expired. The best thing it has going for it is that it's only 85 pages long.
Yeah.
Okay. And yet...
Can we see?
Have we looked up Bess Williams before?
I think so.
Wow. Died tragically young in a major hurricane. The Boca Doral
Sure.
library, not far from where she lived, was partially destroyed in the hurricane. When they rebuilt, they named the nonfiction section after her. The library was expanded again in 1950 and then closed in 1963 when multiple larger libraries opened in the surrounding area that made it redundant.
Oh.
Where it once sat, the building where it once sat is now the Miami Print Museum.
Oh, do we think that Bess Williams did this because she's his progeny?
Oh. Maybe. One of the exhibits is their courtyard, which includes a fountain as well as a statue of an unknown author. The picture has been added to your evidence. Another is a printing press that was used by the Miami... Cannot talk. The Miami Sunday, a now defunct weekly newspaper. The last is the original print of Cuba by Cubans, an art book.
Okay, so we have Miami Sunday. We should look up Bess in there. And we should also maybe look up the art book, even though I suspect it's not relevant.
Yeah, let's see what we have here.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you see? Wait, go back down.
John
Do you
Doe.
see that? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why, but presumably we cannot identify anything else about him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, what was I just reading?
Our notable events has shrunk as well. The intuition score.
Good. When did that man, or when did
It was
the...
just republished as part of the...
Yeah, but when... Okay, published in 1920. Okay, so no, Bess Williams is not his progeny because Possible Infidelity was in 1921 and she had already written the book.
Yeah. Although she could be...
It could
Beth
be
and
her
Bess are
here
not far
instead
off.
of
Yeah.
Beth. Yeah.
Let's look her up in the Miami Herald. Or the Miami Daily? What was it? Damn.
Miami Sunday.
Sunday.
Nope.
Can we look up a... What about Roottreemania? No. But we also didn't get the, like, periodical found. Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh. Ah.
Oh.
It merged with another periodical.
There we go.
Here, which folded after only a year.
Try just the Mercury. And Bess.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, and yes, it has now been officially added. Okay, the Miami Mercury had an article about the Bess Williams section in the Boca Doral Library when it was being built in 1928. It mentions that Bess's young son, now an orphan, was in attendance during the dedication.
I think that we're right about Bess versus Beth. I think Bess is our...
Well, we'll see, but I'm not disagreeing. Just,
Yeah.
you know. It also had a later mention from 1949, the last year the paper existed, about a bidding war for a planned expansion of the library in 1950. The bidding was won by Wildcat Construction and included a new statue, fountain, and a second room that would double its shelf count. Okay, Wildcat Construction was also mentioned earlier in 1947 under the headline Constructing a Better World. Frank Wildcat Williams left Florida in 1941 a construction worker and returned a hero. He won the Navy Cross for his bravery and sacrifice, having carried a fellow soldier to safety under heavy Nazi fire. Now he and his wife Ophelia are carrying his fellow soldiers through tough times at home. Wildcat Construction is Frank's company focused on creating opportunities for soldiers finding difficulty getting back to normal. Ophelia has handled outreach to the wives of local veterans who are often able to provide insight into their husbands' needs and conditions. She has, through such outreach, found 13 veterans of the war to serve as Frank's employees. The community support has been unendingly and overwhelmingly positive. It has gotten to the point where if Frank bids on a project, other local companies have decided to step back and let his soldiers handle it. This has become a bit of a sore spot for local politicians and business owners, as the bids are often not as low as they expected. The problem for them is that essentially, Frank has a selective monopoly, but any attempt to circumvent it has caused an uproar and accusations of being un-American. It's uncertain what will become of Wildcat Construction, but at least for now, we're rooting for them.
Wow. Do you think Frank Wildcat and Crocodile were friends?
Well, I think Wildcat was significantly older than Crocodile.
Yeah.
But maybe.
Can we look at the board when you're done searching here?
Yes, I just want to. Okay. The board.
The board, yeah. Yeah. And then Frank. We have to look at his picture still.
A picture, yes.
Yeah.
Construction.
And Ophelia
right.
is her first name. We don't have her last name.
Yeah.
I wonder if we search him or search for the medal that he won. There might be something about that out there. But we should look at the article that we just printed and see photo-wise what we can get.
Uh-huh. What? I'm confused by this line.
So they had a kid.
Right.
Frank and Ophelia have a child who has a
Yes.
child with John Doe.
Yes.
Who then Frank and
Well-
Ophelia adopt.
Oh, yes. Okay. I see. Yep.
Oh, Emma points out we have the Elias picture as well that we could put in.
Okay. Printing picture. Okay. blah, 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 blah. He died in 96, age 74, in a retirement community in Sweetwater, Florida. An obituary on the website of a local news channel that was written by his surviving family also sheds light on some of his personal life. He grew up an orphan because his family died in a hurricane when he was very young. He could barely remember his mother and had no memory of his father. After the war, he ran a construction company that mainly hired World War II veterans and did a lot of jobs in and around the greater Miami area. He was a born joker and a shining light to those veterans who needed it most. An anecdote mentions that he used to insist he married his wife Ophelia as a matter of courtesy and convenience. She
Ah,
wouldn't have to change her last name. A photo is attached of Frank in his youth juggling hammers in front of one of his construction sites, as he was often known to do. According to the article, he is survived by Ophelia as well as his daughters, Barb and Sharon Williams.
hell yeah. Okay.
That. So probably this is Barb and that's
Barb.
Sharon.
And then I bet Sharon's last name is Williams too, because because her dad is
Yeah, John Doe.
unknown. Yeah. Okay, let's look at our pictures because we might be able to lock in.
Oh, and there's the statue behind him.
He looks like Sam Winchester with the world's worst goatee.
Okay. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Oh, actually. Okay, hold on just a second. Because we gained some additional pictures of Guy.
Yeah.
We don't
Oh, we
know.
also know that the Christmas party photo is with
is in
it's
Brazil.
someone who's married. Right?
Maybe.
It's in the bottom left corner.
Right, yes, I know, but I was looking for the articles, the Cicely Sanchez article. Because there's that woman and that woman. And then also that woman in this other one. That woman we might be able to narrow down because this is well, wait,
Zach.
did he stop being president because he died?
Yeah.
But he took over from Zach.
No, other way
around.
Because Zach was the one who was like trained to do it, but then there was some family uproar because like Guy came from the right side of the family, right?
Yeah, I think so. No, because this says President Zach Martin.
Oh, so
and then 1978 Guy Hudson replaces him.
Oh, okay.
So that could be
Christine.
Christine Garland. Nay, Pharaoh. But hard to say for sure. Yeah.
Ah.
Okay. I figured we know that Frank is for sure, so it would be better to use her to confirm. You know, because
that works for me.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And then we can put him in there. We can add this picture of Zach. So we could have done that before. That's fine. That could be... No.
She looks... I think the woman on the... Well, maybe.
Well, because Susan Ford is not in Brazil, so we know that presumably it's not this one. These girls look Asian, maybe, to me. So that's...
I do not know. This...
What I would be...
I feel like the art on this game has been like slippery in a way. Wait,
yes.
So is the Christmas party one in Brazil?
Well, maybe. There is a line in Cicely Sanchez's thing that he celebrated Christmas in Brazil one year. And I feel like...
Oh, and so then that would make...
This
okay, so then that would make that his Robin and the guy he's doing business with, who is Robin's father. Oh, the
business
which makes
partner.
sense. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. I like that, which means that she could be the single person at the bottom, like number 3 of 5.
Right, but that man does have a portrait.
Yeah.
So, I would put him here and her here. Because she could still be the business partner's daughter and also have a husband.
Yeah, that's true.
She gets divorced from.
Yes.
You know. And it would not surprise me if Alves was her last name. But
there's many options that could be in this list. I think we have to do some.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Spratt is in the list.
Interestingly, yeah, Cicely Sanchez is in the list also, but it did say not all names will be used. Yeah, and then it's possible that...
Yeah, he was just busy while he was down there.
That's... Yes. Well, and also, like, he could have an ongoing affair with this secretary, right? Have her with him. In fact, Susie.
Yeah, who he says... Yeah.
Susie is the one who propositions Cicely in the bathroom.
Yeah.
He sends her to... Yeah. proposition.
Okay.
And I bet we can get a last name for her from the
Company files.
Oh, wait, Susan Ford. When did that book happen? It was like in 79 or something, right? Met him on New Year's Eve, the last night of 1978.
And then on the next page, it's like, oh, Christmas 79, and then mid 1981.
1981. Sent his mistress Susie something into the bathroom to proposition me. She was too good for him. Anyways, he died soon after, and that was the last it ever came up. So yes, so that would make sense for Susie to be Susan Ford.
And there's not a picture of her husband, and that works. That fits nicely.
Right, but I don't think this picture is of her. I think this is I think this person we know is not Susan. It's someone else.
Why would that not be Susan Ford if she went abroad with him?
Because
the timeline.
We don't know that she went abroad with him, and we have already confirmed that this is Susan Ford because these are Susan Ford's children and they are locked in.
Right. You're saying that could be another. He had an affair with another woman named Susan?
No, I'm saying that this woman is at the Brazil Christmas party, which is not when Susie is mentioned. I'm saying that the mention of Susie is referring to Susan Ford and is separate from this picture. This picture is presumably the woman in this spot whose name we don't know yet.
Why would there be the mention of going abroad with Susie?
There's not a mention of going abroad with Susie.
I remember her from abroad.
Okay. Daughter of his business partner in Australia. I think her name was Robin. So, okay, so there's a Robin. Maybe in Australia. There are mentions of Brazil, but the Susie bit is when they have dinner. Cicely and Guy have dinner because he tries to convince her to do the book after all. They're not in Brazil.
This is in 1981. But poor girl, I remembered her from. I'm not saying Brazil specifically, but I remembered her from our trips overseas.
She was too good for him. Okay. Okay.
And this was 1981. He died in 82, and so.
Right, which makes me think yes, Susie is Susan Ford because that was the last affair.
Right.
We can totally try putting her picture here to see if it locks in. It is possible that he had another secretary
because it's also possible that they weren't having an affair when they traveled abroad, which is why she's still last on the.
Yeah, I also don't know if this is this could be Robin here.
Yeah,
and this is some Brazilian woman.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put Robin in both just so we know that it's undecided.
Yeah. Okay, let's take some notes really fast for next time, and then we should probably wrap up.
Okay.
And then maybe we have Barb and Sharon Williams, so we could do some digging by their names and see what we can figure out about them.
Yeah.
Lily said when this started playing, there he goes again. And Nat says, Emily, if I walked into a bookshop and this was playing, I would go insane. And Emma says, I would go to work. Nat says, OMG, Frankenstein?
I can't remember if we searched this already. I know we searched it in... Oh no, maybe we did.
I think we did.
I think we
should see if we can figure out anything about the Root Tree Australia project and Brazil. We should just look into both of those.
I think we should search the fashion scholarship in Teen Blast.
Oh, there we go. Well, we made some serious progress given
yes,
how late into the stream we started. Do you need to save that note?
Yep.
Okay. Given how late in the stream we locked in and started paying attention.
And also how much, how we didn't have good threads to pick up at the beginning.
Yeah. Thanks, Duck.
Yeah. Thanks, Duck. Okay. Oh, shit. I didn't realize it was that far after. I have so much to do.
Are we on for next weekend?
As far as I know, yes.
Okay, great. Then we will see everyone next weekend.
Okay.
Do you want to do a sign off?
Enjoy going to work tomorrow, Frankenstein.